morning shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight with your award-winning host, Dale Davidson. Dale interviews fascinating guests from top-ranked celebrities to people just like you who have an important story to tell. For more than 15 years, Dale is broadcast every week from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. He finds the people who really make Las Vegas a one-of-a-kind city and lets the world know just what's happening in this remarkable town. You'll discover why 50 million people visit the entertainment capital of the world every year. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Las Vegas Tonight.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Thank you so much for tuning in. And believe me, you're going to be glad. We have a return visit from Sir Alfred Dimora, who was here just about a year ago. Yes. And did a wonderful job and had a terrific life story to tell us, and we're going to probe a little more deeply. Al, thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
We
Thank
appreciate
you for having me.
Yeah, it's really nice to see you again.
Yeah.
And thanks for driving in from Palm Springs.
Yeah, it was a nice drive.
Yeah. And you were on Route 66. Your lovely wife, Yvonne, told me.
Yeah, we went on Route 66. So.
What were you driving today?
Took the Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sir Alfred is Mr. Car, Mr. Automotive. And when you were here last, we showed some of the Clenets that you had built in the past. We talked about the $1 million car. We talked about the 1,000 horsepower Ford Mustang. And we've got a magazine. We're going to put some more of these shots up as we talk. What are you doing in the car business now? I know you're doing a lot of other things as well, but what are you planning on?
Well, we're moving forward with the electric car, number one. We're a little bit slower than we want to be because it's hard to get parts, especially chips today, right?
Yeah,
so
cars are just sitting there and they have no chips in them. Yeah.
And the other thing that we're quite excited about is we're bringing the Clenet back out in full force again. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's been some time. The Clenet started in 1975.
Wow.
So we're still around, still doing it, but now going in full force.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
It truly is a work of art. As one of your magazine articles that I read said, it is a automotive work of art, and it really is.
We believe that as well. Crystal ashtray, Waterford, cut glass, just lambswool carpeting. We had everything. Wow. A lot of magazines write us as the American Rolls Royce.
Right.
And we appreciate that because we feel as though we're equally, if not better, than Rolls Royce.
Now, do you only build to order, or do you build production models in anticipation of selling them?
We're going to build anticipation in selling them, but we do have some orders, mostly dealers that come in. Dealers are required to take 3 cars at a minimum. So when you have 50 dealers, that's quite a few cars going off the line.
Oh, yeah, sure. What's happening with luxury automotive sales nowadays? The economy is a little shaky. What do you see in the future?
Well, fortunately for us, it's reversed. In other words, when the economy gets bad, the luxury car business gets better.
Does it really?
It does.
Why is that?
People have more money and they're not investing into the stock market, into housing. They can invest into something that rolls and they can sell it pretty quick, right? So and it's the valuation's going up constantly with these things.
Oh yeah.
So if you do look at any Ferrari, early Ferrari that might have cost $100,000. Today it might be in the millions of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you still getting movie stars buying your cars and famous people? I know you had some famous people. I don't know whether I should mention them or not.
Well, I mean, we could mention them. In the past, we've had many movie stars, obviously. And, these days, a little bit more football players, and it's It's across the board.
Yeah.
You just have to be a car nut, love the car, and have that kind of money.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So you custom build from the ground up,
Yes.
don't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that process a little bit. You know, what we're accustomed to and watching on television is, you know, Ford or Chevy or, you know, whatever on the assembly line. But it's nothing like that, is it?
It's nothing like that. It's all hand built. So you've got guys with hammers in their hand actually pounding this car out, right? Or welding the car instead of robots welding the cars.
Right.
So completely hand built.
Yeah.
The leather, the stitching, you know, all that is all done.
Where do you find these craftsmen? It can't be easy to find people like this.
No, it's not these days, especially these days, right?
Is it? Yeah.
Where the government pays you not to work.
I get you. I get you.
But, you know, the people that we get are real specialized people. They love what they do. And so if you love what you do, it's not like you're working.
Yes.
You know, I don't feel like I go to work.
Yeah, I feel the same way about doing this TV show. You know, it's like it's my sandbox. You know, and it's nothing but fun.
Yeah, if you're passionate about it, hey, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking about passion, let's talk about you and your wife, who've been married how long now?
20 years this year, July 29th.
Oh, that's congratulations. I'm supposed to ask you how you guys met.
Well, we met in a consignment store, which I was selling a car there, and they thought it was a furniture store. And so we met in that store originally.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it was, you know, somebody intervened and said, wait a minute, this is a consignment store for furniture or cars? So, and that's where we actually met. And
oh, that's neat.
became friends first and kind of went from there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Now, was that in L.A. or where did you meet?
In Palm Springs.
In Palm Springs?
Yeah.
So you've been living there with her all 20 years?
I've been there for, I got there in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been over 20 years for me living in Palm Springs.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you like it there?
I love it there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why? What do you like about it? Aside from being a star and a show being shot there.
Well, no.
I'll ask about that in a minute.
We live on a lake.
Oh, you do?
So it's not like we live in the desert. We live on a lake, and you step out. We have our boats right there, so it's an electric boat. I mean, it's a man-made lake. Don't get me wrong.
That's awesome.
But it's nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
And
I think she'll tell you that because she doesn't want to move. So.
Oh, there you go. That's key. That's key.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's exactly how it works. So speaking of Palm Springs, tell me about the TV show, which got picked up by Amazon Prime, I hear.
Yeah, Amazon Prime picked it up. It's called Mark's Place.
Mark's Place. Yeah.
I play the Don in it, so I'm
the Godfather.
I'm the Godfather, and it's quite interesting. It's a sitcom.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to look at it lighthearted.
Yeah. And you enjoy. What do you enjoy about acting? Because you've come to that fairly late in life, right? I mean, you didn't. Did you begin it?
Yeah. On? No, you know, what do I enjoy about acting? I'm myself. I could be myself.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, grew up in the neighborhood, so you kind of know.
Yeah. You know what to do.
Yeah.
So what kind of plots does the show have, typically?
Well, this particular plot where they started off with me in it is that I control the whole valley, and they want to open up different operations there, and without my approval, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
So we're looking at maybe a joint venture, or
Yeah.
So that's my part, anyways, in this thing. So it varies from episode to episode.
How many episodes have they shot?
Well, right now I think they're at number 9.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're working on the first season still.
First season,
Yeah. Well, if this gets picked up again for another season and it does extremely well, Are movies next for you? You're going to try to get in
Oh
movies?
yeah, I've had offers in other movies,
Have you?
which
Have you?
I'm going to be taking on. I can't really say which movies they are because they all give them different names and
Oh, right.
as you're going along. But I play kind of the same characters.
Yes. Yes.
They've moved me into that mafia look kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, everybody's got a specialty, and it's like John Wayne and Cowboys.
Exactly.
And that's what he said. I just play myself.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Exactly.
So you and Yvonne are enjoying life. Tell me about the future and what you anticipate, what you want to do with your businesses. I know you have other business interests.
Yeah.
You're talking about building a car factory here. Is that still on?
Yeah, we're definitely looking at it.
Looking at here?
Yeah, definitely looking at here, only because of you have a lot of great people here.
Yes.
Taxes are great here.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of advantages of being here in Las Vegas to build a factory.
Yes.
I don't have to be there every day.
Yes.
When you're doing robotic and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The handcrafted cars, they require me to be around.
Yeah. So you're going to make instantaneous decisions based on what happens with the Clonés, but a robot can build a car regardless, right?
Yeah, and we're looking at maybe a second factory for the Clonés overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Might be Scotland or Ireland.
Oh,
But
that'd be kind of sexy, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
a new car coming out from there, and
Yeah.
and we could all go and play golf,
there you go.
which is a great idea.
Yeah.
What about travel? Do you and Yvonne like to travel the world?
Since we've gotten this house, we don't travel as much, and of course with the pandemic, it's been real difficult, and with the airlines, everything's a lot harder today.
Yeah, it really is.
I went back east to a fishing trip,
Okay.
and of course the plane got stuck in Dallas, so I ended up spending the extra night there before,
Yes.
and just kind of screws up your whole plans.
Yeah, I hope that straightens out in the next year.
Yeah.
And they're saying it could be a while before it straightens out. So I hear there were adventures on this fishing trip.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, everything was going pretty well, on the first day, because we didn't do much. We just cooked and got everything organized.
Yeah.
We had places right on the water, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And the first day we went out, I busted a blade on the boat, so we were kind of stranded, trying to limp in on that one.
Yeah.
The next day we took the boat out, and we ended up in the St. Lawrence Channel,
Oh, okay.
headed towards Canada, when the boat completely died.
Oh, wow.
So called the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard pinged us and lost us. And so we were worried about, moving into Canadian waters without, there's 6 Italian guys in a boat headed towards the St. Lawrence across the. So it was kind of an adventure. And then
It's like the old days of rum running,
Yeah,
from Canada
exactly.
to the U.S.
So we ended up losing a day of fishing. So I went to a boat museum, which I found fascinating. It was all wood boats, and so I decided I'm going to go adventure out a little bit while those guys were just eating and enjoying playing cards. So I went to go see that. It was in Harmon, New York, which was really fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I would recommend seeing that. But the following day, we ended up back on the water, which was really good. And but when we came, as soon as we hit the water, we ran into a really bad storm. So if you can imagine, we were soaked, and we still haven't caught any fish. I mean, we're on the 4th day,
like
no fish.
Doomed. This is the fishing trip from hell. Is what this is.
Exactly. So on our way in, we got soaked, got all dried off, took the shower, went out, and then I came out, and my wife texted me, and she said, "How's the weather?" And I said, "Believe it or not, it's perfect. All of a sudden, it's blue sky and beautiful, right?"
Yeah.
When I got out of the shower. As I'm walking to it, I'm looking at this cloud over my head, and I go up into the cabin, I walk upstairs, there's 2 other guys on the balcony, and I go, oh my God, take a look at this. And all of a sudden, hail started hitting us, and we couldn't even open up the door.
Oh, no.
Tornado hit us.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was quite interesting. So
wow.
it hit a tree, well, it took the tree, big tree, went into our cabin, punched a hole in the cabin roof.
Oh, no.
Proceeded to take out 2 of the vehicles. One got totaled, and the other one did about $6,000 worth of damage.
Oh.
That was only our stuff, not everybody else's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it hit so fast. It was like incredible.
That is something.
And literally trying to get into the house was challenging, right? Most of the guys I'm
There's
with
a tree
fishing
in the
with-
way.
Yeah, well, no, it was just the door was in the way. The wind was so heavy you could not even open up the door.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We need to take a brief break.
Sure.
We'll be back with Sir Alfred in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to leave you hanging on how this all turned out. The cliffhanger's always a good way to leave them. We'll be back with more right after this. Hi, I'm Dale Davidson, host of Las Vegas Tonight. You know, radio has an enduring place in the heart of America. Sometimes it's music that can enliven your spirit or keep you company when you need some. More often for me, it's just been the right spoken word or two that can quiet my mind and soul. Radio brings me a reassuring word in the quiet of night or a welcoming voice early in the morning as I shake off the night's sleep and find my way into God's purpose for my day. And always, I find the best radio station is the one that brings me the best news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. My favorite radio station is KKVV in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's still right where it's been for years at 1060 on the AM dial, hovering over Sin City like a gospel airship, broadcasting the good news of the abounding love that Jesus Christ has for every single one of us. No matter who you are or where you live, you can receive God's Word via the KKVV Gospel Airship. Just go to kkvv.com and click on Listen Live. KKVV is using all the tools that God's provided them, like podcasting and video streaming and video on demand, to produce programs that lift up our fellow believers and save the lost. If you feel a calling to speak to others about Jesus Christ on your very own show, pick up the phone and call the station. They'll be happy to tell you how. Call KKVV today at 702-731-5588 or drop them an email at kkvvradio@hotmail.com. Please join me in becoming part of the KKVV family. You'll be glad you did. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. Sir Alfred Dimora is our very special guest. He's been regaling us with possibly the worst fishing trip in the history of fishing trips in upstate New York, right?
Yeah, it was right by the Canadian border. We were sitting right on it.
Wow.
In fact, my cell phone kept telling me I was in Canada, but I was in New York.
That's crazy. When I was a kid, we used to go up to Lake Oneida, if you know where that is, by
sure.
Syracuse. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great, great country up there.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful place.
We were 2 hours north of that.
That's a ways.
Yeah.
How was the weather, except for what happened there, the temperature? How was the temperature?
Temperature-wise, it was in the 80s. It was quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Okay, because, it's a good time of year to be there.
Yeah.
Except for tornadoes. So tell me, pick it up from where you left it. What happened then?
Well, truthfully, I didn't think tornadoes hit New York.
I didn't think about it. That's a Midwestern thing.
Yeah. So, anyways, it took out one of the cars, totaled it, and the second car windshield was busted, water was sinking into it. It was a brand new truck. I felt sorry for the guys, but anyways, we had to go get a rent-a-car, and that was near impossible. I mean, because everybody needed a car at that point.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of damage done.
Oh, yeah.
So trees were down, power was out, Luckily, my brother likes candles, so he brought candles, and it was for the smell, not for the light. But we use it for the light.
This is Frank?
My brother John.
John, okay.
My oldest brother.
Your oldest brother, yeah.
So he likes what I like, cars and fishing.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So how much longer did you stay?
Well, we ended up staying the whole week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I caught 2 fish, which was kind of nice, walleye. I was just happy to catch something. You know?
After all of this.
Yeah. So, and it was nice. I mean, it was exciting because you got out of the house. We're with a bunch of guys, a bunch of Italian guys, and we all spoke the same language.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I understand.
Let's eat.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds like it was a great fun.
Yeah.
Great fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Your wife mentioned during the break that maybe Jesus was trying to tell you something. Let's talk about your faith a little bit. We did that in the last show.
Sure.
Tell me where you are with your walk right now. I know. As you said in the first show, that your brother Frank, who is quite a theologian, I think is probably what to call him.
Yeah.
When we were talking about how you came to Christ, you said Frank wouldn't leave you alone.
Yeah. Still doesn't.
So tell me a little bit about your feelings on walking with Jesus now.
Well, no, my feeling's always been there, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I've been very blessed from my stepmother all the way down, as we discussed the last show.
Right.
So, and even with my wife, and it seems like everybody I do business with, I can't explain this, is all Christians.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but that's what's going on in my life. As you know, I was knighted.
Yes,
so I'm Catholic. You know, I'm not changing, but we all have our own beliefs, and you know, I believe on the Christian side, obviously.
Right, right. So, for those who might not have caught the first show, tell us a little bit about your knighthood and how that came about.
Well, the knighthood came about because I was involved in many different projects for the church. I mean, I started off as an altar boy when I was a kid, and kind of worked.
My kids did too.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, and you did it because you wanted to drink the wine.
You knew where it was.
So, but long story short, you know, they knighted me for the work that I did for the church, and it was nice. I mean, it was just it's a nice honor, and I did appreciate it, you know.
So how many years have you been at
2002.
Oh, okay.
2002.
20 years.
Almost 20 years, I think.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah. That's really quite an honor. It truly is. Tell me about the Teddy Ball and what you're doing with your other charities.
Well, the Teddy Ball's interesting. It's coming up in November, and what we do at the Teddy Balls, you bring a teddy bear in to the ball. Everybody has to dress up. So you have a tie, and if you don't have a tie, we will get you a tie for $75. And so it all goes to charity.
Right.
It's a bunch of car people that there's about 8 of us that put this thing together. Nino runs the whole operation. He's very, very good at what he does.
Nino?
Yeah, and it's really an interesting thing because it's a fun night out where you get dressed up, and the cars come out, and the women get a chance to really get decked out, and the guys do too. So, and we have DJs there and sometimes bands. And what happens is you bring a teddy bear in with you, and $75 for the most part. And the teddy bears get distributed through the hospitals, and so does the money.
To kids who are in the hospital.
Real need.
Yeah.
So, and it could be, whether the kids are dying or if they just need help.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand, and I'll just share this with you because I'm sure you've seen it many times. On October 1 of 17, when we had the shootings, and all those people were killed and shot, we set up a prayer tent in the parking lot at the UMC hospital, and then contacted a local charity that also does teddy bears.
Oh.
And another guy that I knew that I had on my program who hand carves wooden toys, like cars, little wooden cars for kids. And then we distributed those to the kids who were in the hospital. And they might have been part of the family where somebody had been wounded, or they were wounded themselves. And I'll tell you, they just light up.
Yeah.
The kids, there's a real affinity
doubt about
for teddy bears,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do the teddy bear, and then we do the bunny ball.
Tell us about the bunny
The
ball.
bunny ball is exactly like the teddy bear, except for you have to bring a bunny ring. And some people get a little crazy. The bunnies are really, really tall, and then smaller ones, obviously. So,
right.
And then they do a film afterwards, and like in the car shop.
Oh, okay.
So if there was an African American guy, they put a black teddy bear there, and then they would have it so the teddy bears were working building cars.
Oh,
so there's a
that's
little
cute.
video that follows it for the kids.
That's cute.
So it is kind of cute. They're very creative.
Yes.
Very creative. I'm happy to be on that board.
How many years have you done this?
I think I'm my 7th year.
7th year of doing that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that Christians should be doing all the time, particularly when it involves children, don't you think?
Well, I would think not only Christians, everybody should be.
Yeah.
Kids can't work for themselves. They can't do things by themselves a lot of times.
Yes.
Especially if you're ill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I believe, the guy sitting at the corner begging for dollars, he can go to McDonald's. They're paying $20 an hour.
Yes.
But the kids can't get up and go to work.
Yes.
They can't do it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. We raised some money here through our 501c3 for St. Jude's for that same reason,
nice.
which I think is a really, really good charity.
Yep.
And, kids with cancer, you wonder about things like that, and as a Christian, on a show that I just did, we were talking about why do bad things happen to good people? Why do little kids get sick? Why do little kids get cancer? And, as a Christian myself, as a father, as a grandfather, I always say I don't know why it happens, but what I do know is that Jesus is there and he will walk you through it.
Yeah.
That's, my explanation to kids, and it seems to help. It does seem to help. And God bless you for doing this. The bunnies and the teddy bears.
Yeah.
You got someplace to go a couple times a year.
Yeah, exactly. It's in San Diego, California, by the way.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's there. Eventually, they like to take it across, and in fact, they're talking about Las Vegas next.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's working on it as we speak.
Well, there's money here, and there are venues here.
Yeah.
And there are people who know how to put on a party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there are good folks in this town. I don't know that America or the world, and our show is now worldwide, understand that Las Vegas is more than just a party town. It's a lot of good people live here. It's one of the most churched communities in the United States, and charities galore. I mean, people raise big money, here.
Yep.
And I think this would be a great place for the bunny ball or the
I do too. I was
Teddy ball.
totally for it when he called me and said, "What do you think about Las Vegas?" I said, "Well, I love Las Vegas, so you got my blessing, and I will help."
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, let us know how we can help with promotion or anything that comes along. Let's talk about your future. What do you want to do with your other businesses? I know you have other businesses that you can or can't talk about based on confidentiality agreements, but what do you want to do in the future?
Well, I'd like to. I'm slowly backing myself away from those businesses.
Oh, you are?
Eventually, here,
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm
put
going
money
to
in the
do
movies
it, and I
and
keep
things like
getting
that.
sucked back in. I think I've seen that on a movie or two.
They pull me back in.
So, but no, I'm trying to slow down because I just turned 66.
Happy birthday. Yesterday was the day, and we gave him these cars.
Yeah, there you go.
See? Because he needs little model cars more than anything.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
You bet. You bet.
So, Yeah, everybody got to celebrate my birthday yesterday.
What'd you do?
Well, we went out on the boat, watched fireworks, and there was maybe 50, 60 people that showed up around the pool that were just enjoying food.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you know, so some didn't know it was my birthday and some knew it was.
So, oh, that's sweet. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
My wife decorated the whole place with her sister. They did a fantastic job.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it a joy, you
Yeah.
know, when you have a happy life and, as you said, happy wife, you know?
Yep.
There's nothing better than that.
Yep.
There really isn't. So you're going to back away from your other businesses, you think, and just
Well,
concentrate
slowly
on the
I'm
Planet?
backing out. I want to, the electric car's been one of my dreams that I'm going to fulfill
Yeah.
one way or another. And the, Claney's always been, the Vici, which is sitting right there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
our neoclassic division, that's what that kind of fits into.
Yes.
It's actually come back alive again. The Claney, I'm getting a lot of requests for the Claney.
Really?
Especially overseas. And that's one of the reasons why we thought, well, maybe we're going to set up a second operation overseas.
A lot of demand from Europe. Is
A
that
lot of
what's happening?
demand from Europe.
Oh, okay.
A lot of demand. So they like this style car, the Claney especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said in the first show, it looks like a really gussied up Duesenberg, and they would understand that,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Europe, I would think.
And the clientele's getting younger, believe it or not.
Is that
I just sold a car to a gentleman that, he's just turning 50.
Yeah. A kid.
That's young, in my world for selling the cars,
Yeah, yeah.
So, but because it's a car you can take anywhere and enjoy the car and not worry about it breaking down.
Yes.
And it's afterwards, the maintenance is really cheap.
Yeah.
It's inexpensive to operate the car, unlike any other exotic car.
Yeah, most of them, it's a problem.
A lot of money to maintain them.
The Rolls Royce, I remember a friend of mine just sold his, but he said the maintenance just was killing him.
Well, a little story for you is that when I met my wife, she said, "Why do you have two Rolls Royces?" I said, "You have to. They always break down."
Isn't that the truth? That's a good line.
That wasn't a line. It was the truth.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, and that's what my buddy was telling me. He's had this particular model for 40 years.
Yeah.
And then he just said, and he's about our age, too, and he just said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
It's been fun, but somebody else, I'm going to pass along this headache. Someone else. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, we need to take another brief break. It's been wonderful having Sir Alfred Dimora on the show. We're going to come back for one more segment, and we hope you stick around for that. We'll be right back.
If sin begins with self-obsession, I've been the worst, believed the curse, searched for worth, and found nothing in heaven, on earth, or in between. No man-made schemes or pure righteous plea could free me from myself. But I remember the day when I came colliding with the cross. I saw Jesus stumble to Golgotha on that pathway filled with pain, slain on blood-stained tree. The power of his death has invited me into my own. Resurrection has overthrown. The grave's claims, "It is finished," is the good news in every age echoing on the airways. Jesus Christ was crucified, that the worst of us might taste life.
Welcome back to our final segment of Las Vegas Tonight. And I'm sorry to say it's the final one because we could go on and on and on. Sir Alfred Dimora is my pal, and he's in here from Palm Springs talking about fascinating things that he's doing. Let's talk about the electric car for a minute. I know you have a prototype and you want to build a bunch of them. and compete with Tesla. Tell me what some of the pluses and minuses are in the electric car industry right now.
Well, the electric car industry, you know, there's a lot of pluses to it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get gas, and right now that's a huge plus.
That is.
Right? When you go to the
yeah.
gas station in California, you start to see $7 prices.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a plus. The negative is, what does it take to get to that electricity for, you know, bring it to your home? Or,
Right.
you know, on the way here, my wife was showing me an article where there was 70 or 75 cars lined up trying to get power for their car.
Oh, because there
Right?
aren't enough.
There wasn't enough power stations.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
a downfall of right now of
Right.
it. So one of the big problems that they have that they don't really talk about is that all the wiring's made from soybean.
This I didn't know.
Right. So
Wow.
if it's made from soybean and it's electric, the rats love soybean.
Oh, pack rats.
Yeah. So
Oh no.
there is issues out there with some of the electric cars that are being eaten alive.
So they climb under the hood and just chew up all the wiring.
Yeah, because, you know, it's food for them. You know?
Oh my
So
gosh.
we're actually investigating and looking into different materials that we could use that are not harming the environment, that will be safe for the animals, and they won't go eating it, you know,
Yes.
and destroying a car. You know?
Yes.
How'd you like to have your $100,000 car eaten where it can't run? You know.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So, and I've come with this firsthand, helping people trying to resolve that problem. It's not an easy problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to sheath the wire with something else?
Well, there's different ways of doing it
Yeah.
that we're looking into, and so far we haven't hit it.
Yeah.
We're concentrating on some other things, but this is definitely one of our goals.
Now, one thing I know that you're doing that I find fascinating is what you're doing with the paints. And what you had indicated to me was this stuff is all natural. The paint's
Yeah.
all natural. Tell me about
Well,
that.
that's the dye.
Yeah.
So it's called Dimora dyes, and so it's made from hemp and tobacco.
Right.
And the good thing about made from tobacco is that it keeps the mice and everything away, the bugs. They don't like tobacco.
Oh, okay.
So when you're in Asia or somewhere where you're bug infested,
Yes.
this would be a good thing for them.
I
really
see.
good thing. So, but the hemp is really durable.
Okay.
Extremely durable. So that's another benefit. And so that's what we're working with that.
So that's all natural.
It's all natural, 100%. Yeah, I think it's the only patent for the company that has the tobacco company doesn't own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's in a separate company, and the company's out of Oregon.
Well, that's got to help the tobacco industry because obviously they're down and they're hurting because a lot fewer people smoke than
Well,
they
what
used
we're
to.
able to do is take the scraps of
Oh, is
the
that right?
tobacco, which
Oh.
actually gets thrown away, and we reuse that.
Oh, that's even better.
It's even better. It is.
Recycling.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So one more thing about the electric cars and then we'll move on. As far as, and we'll say it, Tesla, as far as they're concerned, do they see you and your prototype as threatening their market? Are you in the same range demographically to sell that car?
We are, but we're a little higher in the higher range.
Oh, you
So
are?
our
Okay.
Natalia will come out around $495,000.
Okay.
But then our four-door, which I believe I showed you what the car was going to look like.
You did, yeah.
That's in the $100,000 range.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and Tesla's trying to come down in price.
Yeah. More for the mass market.
More for the mass market.
In
we're
the
not
40s,
we're not
something
we're not
like
going
that.
for the mass market.
Yeah.
We like to do about 30,000 cars a year
Yeah.
total.
Yeah. Boy, that'll be fantastic. You know, the electric car market is so hot right now. And and this town, and I'm really glad that you're looking at Las Vegas, this town needs diversification. That is clear. You know, when COVID hit, we went in the tank and, you know, had the highest unemployment in the United States. Now we've come back And as you can tell when you drove over here,
Yeah,
there's plenty of people coming here.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're not diversified. So, you know, if you can get a car company going here, you know, other diversified industry in Las Vegas, I think we'll be in much better shape. What do you see happening with California? I know you live there and you love Palm Springs, which anybody could understand why you'd like that, living the way you do there. But I've got a couple of kids who live there and I worry about them. You know, the economy is hurting. California always seems to be on the forefront of what the nation's going to face next.
Yeah, well,
Tell me how you feel about that.
Let me tell you how I feel in general, right? And I've been predicting come October, and I've been telling people for a year now, watch out. We're headed for a really bad recession, in my opinion.
Yes.
Okay? And this is just one reporter watching what's really going on with the money.
Right.
And what's happening in California especially.
Right.
You can't survive what we're surviving now at $7 prices at the gas pump, for instance.
Yeah.
You can't survive a government that's telling you we need more tax money to give it to the poor.
Yeah.
You just can't survive all this. So here we go. The inflation's starting. Everything's starting. The gas is going up. And this government is refusing to let we have the biggest resources for oil and gas. As you know, I'm in the oil and gas business.
I know, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane that
Yeah.
we're not actually supplying ourselves,
Yeah.
bringing down that price, bringing down the inflation.
Yeah.
So, but the numbers show for even this president, you know, what's out there, right?
Yeah.
You look at his numbers and you say to yourself, okay, I understand what's really happening here.
Yes.
Things have to change, and they better change quickly.
Yes.
Or else Las Vegas, California, New York, they're all going to be in real dire straits.
Yeah. Yeah. Particularly any city, any state, any region of the country that's tourism dependent like us.
Well, you
it's
have
gonna
to be
hurt.
afraid that these police don't want to work anymore because they're afraid of working.
Yes.
Being shot and killed. I mean,
Yes.
2 more just recently,
Yes.
right? Ambushed. What is that? You got a district attorney that's not putting them away? You know, I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm right down the middle telling you this has got to wake up here.
Yes.
People just got to get smart.
And I appreciate your saying that because that's a very real issue, you know, all those issues that we're facing today. And of course, I believe that Christ is the answer to every major problem. And I believe that revival is the only thing that our country can count on. Mm-hmm. I believe otherwise, God is going to take his hand of protection off the United States. And when that happens, you don't want to be around.
Yeah. Well, we tend as the United States to blame other world, wars and stuff. No, that's not correct. The war's over there. It's not over here.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So we can't blame other people for what our actions are here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We don't blame people. We look at people that are obese. Only in America. Mm-hmm. But when the fast food places move into China, for instance, and stuff, all of a sudden they're starting to have obesity going on. Right? So you look at that and go, okay, well, this is pretty obvious to people.
Yes.
know? And then when you have people, very important people in LA saying, don't come to our city, right? Because it's too dangerous here.
Yes.
And at the stature and what they are, and I don't want to bring names up, but it's incredible that they even get on TV to do it and say, we might lose our jobs, but I'd rather lose my job than lose your life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Not funny, ha-ha, but I was in LA talking to an owner of a full-power television station that's located in downtown LA, and I hadn't been there in a long time. It had been years since I'd been at the station. We're going to get together, and he's going to give me a tour of their new production facility, and we're going to do some business together. And he said, I need to warn you what it's going to look like when you get here. He said, there's a homeless encampment on our street, that runs all the way up the block. And I don't want you to try to park there or park in the parking lot across the street. Come in, and then our guard will take it to the thing. And I looked at this, and when I drove up, it's like, we're in Beirut in the middle of the war.
No question.
What has happened,
Yeah.
And
There's
then,
no doubt.
that is to me, again, a problem of lack of faith. In the 60s, we took religion out of the schools. No longer could you pray before class. No longer could you have the 10 Commandments posted in school. And then we wonder why the children run wild.
Yeah.
There's no basis for what the morality should be.
Correct. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I grew up, man, if I did something wrong, I knew it was coming.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
Same thing.
in this world, they call the police on you.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't believe in beating anybody, but I do believe in, reprimanding somebody.
yeah.
And you don't have to beat them. You can just send them to the room for a week.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Or chores or something that make them responsible.
Yeah, that's when I was a kid. That's
Sure.
what, and when I raised my children, same thing. People want to separate church and state, which, by the way, is, as you know, not in the Constitution.
No.
Nowhere in the Constitution does it say anything about that. We need to bring the Lord back into our public life. Any feelings on how we do that and get around these legalistic, proscribing type laws?
Yeah, it's real simple. Bring in the people, vote in the people that believe. It's that simple.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, they don't have to be right or left. They just have to believe that this could be a better place.
Yes.
Right? So that's how I would do it. I would start right from the ground floor and work your way up.
Okay.
Because the politicians today, the first thing I would do is say, you can't be a politician for more than 6 years. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
6 years is your
Term
maximum.
limits, period.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we have people that have been in office for, they're lifers. And by the way, they're lifers living in $5 million mansions. And we're only paying them $200,000 a year.
Yeah. How are you getting that money exactly?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I can do the math. That's why I'm saying common sense.
Yes.
Just look at the common sense. If 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
I understand. Sir Alfred, I'm going to ask you a favor. That's your camera right there. I'm going to ask you to address the audience about some of the things you just said directly and talk about how Jesus is the solution and why living with Christ is a good way to go. Our show is international in scope now. There are millions of people watching, and many don't know anything about him, anything about Jesus. So if you don't mind taking a couple of minutes, address the audience.
Sure, I don't mind at all, by the way.
Oh, great.
For those that are out there that don't believe, I would like to say to you, open up a Bible, read the Bible, don't kill. You don't have to kill. You need to pay attention to other people, care for other people. This is what I believe that what we call religion helps. It helps you understand what the other human being really is or isn't. And then you would want to be the same way. You want to have the same respect that person's given to you, right? So therefore, I say anywhere, if you're in China, it doesn't make any difference where in the world. I've traveled all over the world. People that tend to go to church and believe tend to have better morals, in my opinion. And I wish everyone out there would just consider it.
Thank you. Wow. That was really well stated. I really appreciate it. And that's a solution that we should all look at. And having Jesus Christ in your life is the answer, folks. So we hope that you'll take Sir Alfred at his word and look into it, please, for your own sake and the sake of those you love. Sir Alfred, thanks for coming on.
Oh, I appreciate
It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Let it not be so long. We got to at least make it annual. Sir Alfred Dimora is our very special guest today. And as I try to remember to say each and every episode of Las Vegas Tonight, when it comes to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please walk with him. God bless you.
God's voice speaks to me in the whispers of the sun, calling my name throughout the day and leading me to a safe land where peace reigns. I answer the call, but only in my mind. The search for the land is in vain, for it's not to be found outside of me. God's voice speaks to me. God's voice calls my name. God's voice is inside of me. God's voice. God's voice comforts me when no comfort can be found, soothing my fears and drying my tears and rocking me to a safe land where peace reigns. I feel the call in my heart and mind when I leave the world behind. It is always there inside of me. God's voice speaks to me. God's voice calls my name. God's voice is inside of me. God's voice. God's voice speaks to me. God's voice calls my name. God's voice is inside of me. God's voice. God's God's voice.
What is the Bible? What does it say? Why do people care about it? And what does it have to do with you? Christians claim the Bible was authored by God through human hands to share His story and help us understand who He is. It's a diverse collection of literature, including historical accounts, poetry, stories, and wisdom. It contains mind-blowing adventures like men being thrown into a fire-filled furnace. Yet they weren't burned. It speaks of an old man who was lowered into a lion's den, only to be supernaturally protected and not eaten. It also tells the story of a little girl who had died, yet miraculously came back to life. The Bible is one book that contains 66 smaller books. It was written over a period of 1,500 years and authored by over 40 different people. that range from shepherds to doctors, scholars, farmers, and kings. Completed 2,000 years ago, historians say it's one of the most reliable books on the planet. Over 10,000 manuscripts have survived the centuries. Compare that to only 235 known manuscripts of Shakespeare's First Folio. There have been over 5 billion copies printed worldwide, making it the most reproduced book in the world. The Bible is divided into two sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is well known for its early history of the world and insight into life, giving wisdom such as don't murder and love one another. Other sections are a bit racy, such as your breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle. The first 4 books in the New Testament tell the story of Jesus through the perspectives of 4 of his closest friends. The rest of the New Testament is stories and letters revealing what Jesus' closest followers did after his time on earth. God used average people to heal all kinds of diseases and drive out demons. Many of Jesus' followers were killed because they dared to preach his message. Jesus claimed to be the human manifestation of God's unfailing love for humanity and the secret for true inner peace. He gave hope to the hopeless, love to the unloved, and then gave his life to bring never-ending life to everyone who would believe in him. That's where you come in. Beware, reading this book will change you. As you read it, its message of hope will come alive in you. That's what it's designed to do. Why not give it a shot and see for yourself what it says? It just might surprise you.
Alpha and Omega. You have no beginning. You have no end. Before the foundation of the world, you chose me, adopted as your child through your Son, Jesus Christ. I deserved death, yet you showed me grace. I deserve your wrath, yet you demonstrate love. My God, this whole world may fail, but you remain the same. The love of an everlasting God is my firm foundation. Whom shall I fear? Everything here on earth will fade away, but your promises will never. The love of an everlasting God is my hope. No one can take it away. I am yours, my Lord. You chose me, my everlasting God.
Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with your host, Dale Davidson. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. We so appreciate your loyalty to our program. To keep Las Vegas Tonight on the air, please go to our website, vegassaints.org, and click the Donate button. To send a check or money order, please make it out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries and mail it to 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To suggest a guest to appear on the show or any other suggestions or questions, write to Dale at dalewdavidson@yahoo.com or call him at 702-480-3989.
Shine, Las Vegas, shine.